This test is for a e-com client that deals with direct-to-consumer sales of printers and sewing products and supplies. They also deal with B2B, but this particular test is on their direct-to-consumer side. In this test, we were trying to see if we could coax users to purchase printer supplies along with their new printer purchase. And so in V0, when a user adds something to the cart, they just get this mini cart up here that summarizes, the product, the price, and they can either continue to shop from here or proceed to their cart. In our variation, what we've done is suppress the mini cart and pop this modal that offers a selection of related products to the particular item that they've added to their cart. So it can be toner, printer sheets, any kind of accessory that could possibly go with the printer. And functionality of the modal, all items were taken into account whether or not they were in stock. If an item was added to the cart from the modal, that was indicated within the modal. And if an item was out of stock, or if they attempted to add an item to cart and it had been out of stock, but the site hadn't quite refreshed yet, then we displayed this error message here. Any questions, comments, feedback?
Kim, did this test run just on desktop, or did it also run on mobile as well?
Great question. Desktop only.
Hey Kim, so what's the primary goal here? Like higher AOV per cart? Okay.
Higher AOV, yep.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that V1 one, because it kind of lays out the upsell options pretty neatly. So I think I'm gonna go with V1.
I agree, especially because those items are associated with the product and cart more clearly than some upsells I've seen.
Kim, you said the main goal was AOV, but were you looking at total revenue and transactions as well?
Yes.
So it had to be increased AOV, but in terms of really increasing revenue, right?
Correct. And
okay.
I believe the primary metric on this test was actually cart visits, but ultimately order value was what we were trying to accomplish.
All right, I'm going to go controversial and say that the test variation lost because I've seen some upsells in the cart be distracting and reduce total transactions by enough that even with the increased AOV, revenue's down.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead and vote. So if you think it was the control, you're going to do a thumbs down. If you think the variation one, you'll do a thumbs up. So go ahead and cast your vote. Alrighty, Kim, go ahead and do the big reveal.
All right, so this was a big loser. Big loser. We found cart visits were down, not at StatSig, but we actually ended up pausing this one early because it was such a big loser up front. Average order value was down 3%, revenue per visitor down more than 10%, and orders as a whole down 18%. So, and actually added recommended product, nobody really added anything to the cart from the modal. So the conclusion we drew here was because users were already adding some really high ticket items to their cart, that showing those upsells such as toner with high values sort of increased price sensitivity and distracted users.
So this would be like if Gillette gave you some info on how much they're going to charge you for the blades once they give you the razor for free or something, or
yeah, yes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so we hypothesized that once users actually saw how much their future investment would be if they bought that particular printer, it sort of gave them pause and they ended up not converting.